Hey guys. Wow, I did that really under breath. Give me one moment. Let me take a sip of water really quick because I just like bombed that intro miserably. All right. Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video here in 2021. Today we're going to be taking a look at the next weapon down on our popularity list of things that you guys want to be reviewed. And today we have the Gewher 88 Mark 1. So, a little bit of background on the Gewher 88. This is a German rifle that they used ages ago, basically. It's not exactly top of the line German engineering like a lot of the newer firearms are, but it is what got them through some of their major wars. So, it is a very prominent rifle in German history. A little bit of background about why I wanted to actually design a Gewher 88. This is not something that I do too often. I believe there was a contest being run at the time that I actually wanted to enter into that was centered kind of around World War I historic firearms and such. And this just so happened to be on my kind of radar of things to make. At the time, I had built a 1903 Springfield, the United States Army rifle of World War One, and I know that during this same time, the Gewher 88 is what the Germans fielded out during the war. So I decided that it's time I make something a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and I go for a very, very old model. So what you see is the Gewher 88. I have two 4K rendered images of this just to kind of show off the overall model. I was really proud of this model when I came out with it because there's a lot going on in terms of stud transitions and trying to get the absolute best angles going on possible. So if we take a look at, say, model inside of LDD, we'll start from tip to butt, as Garantham would say. At the very tip, we have a very basic muzzle and front sight arrangement. It is a 3-stud wide barrel down the length of the weapon itself. We do have a cleaning rod down below. It's just to here, it doesn't go down the full length of the weapon itself. I needed the internal space here to set up all these angles, but it is here and it is present. You can see that the front barrel band is present as well. Very basic. The internal structure of this is 2 studs wide, and then we use plate building techniques on the side to kind of bulk it up just slightly. So it is slightly past about 4 studs worth of width, if you will. Like I said, I'm sorry, I said 3 stud wide down the whole length. I was wrong. It's 2 stud wide down the whole length. It almost gives the illusion like it's 3 stud wide down the whole length. So sorry about that. I misspoke on that point. The front end here is designed to be as ergonomic as possible. It's 3 studs down at the very bottom, and it uses an internal structure of bracket bricks to set up this bow slope and flat plates up here to make a very comfortable front end. This middle barrel band, like I said, is just 2 studs wide on the inside. And then obviously these are set up on top at 3 studs wide to kind of smooth out the transition between bow slopes and bow slope. We do have our sling attachment point here. Toward the back here, we do change up just slightly how the wooden stock works out. We then choose cheese slopes going through here to thicken it up because there is a slight slope down to the internal magazine that you can see here. Our rear sight is set up right here. This is a very basic rear sight, a representation of what's going on. You can see that the aim down sight picture is that basic. It does flip up. Obviously, something's going on here that I can't exactly work out, but this is supposed to form your ladder sight that you use for volley fire. It was one of the bigger things during World War One that never really took off after World War One. To be honest with you, volley fire was kind of alleviated after that point. Slight screw detail going on in the wooden stock here, and then we get into the chamber area, which is 3 studs wide, and then the actual bolt itself, which is 2 studs wide. So this is a pretty basic bolt structure going on here, not a whole lot to talk about. You just turn up on it, slide it back, turn it back down. There is nothing holding this in place other than gravity. So obviously building this in real life, you would have to be careful handling the model. You couldn't flip it upside down or the whole bolt would just fall out of the weapon. But for Lego building inside of Lego Digital Designer, that's not that big of a deal. I don't take any issues with that. The safety is on the weapon. The safety is a very basic working function of the weapon. You can see that we can flip it, through its various functions. The bolt is hollow underneath to accept cartridges that you can load into it. You would not be able to fill this to maximum capacity, which I believe is 5 rounds. You'd probably fit just about 2 in there before you're topped out, but there is some internal space for loading to occur. I've retained the bow slope design coming down here. This is still slightly wider than 4 studs wide, as you can see. I have a very basic trigger design here, but it does represent one of my favorite looking triggers. This ingot piece here is a really versatile piece, and it looks really nice on triggers like this. Trigger guard is 3 studs wide. This internal magazine detail is also 3 studs wide, and then we get into the stock. The stock is the most complicated part of the entire weapon, and it is also 3 studs wide down the whole thing. We have bricks that are right side up on top, bricks that are upside down across the whole bottom, and then bricks that are on their sides for the butt plate itself. But this here is the most I could accurately replicate the angle of the stock for the entire weapon. So I'm really, really proud of it overall. So as you can see, I've got a couple plate designs here to kind of replicate where it kind of bulks up just a little bit going into the wrist of the gun itself. It kind of hides the transition from 4 plus some into 3 right through there. Like I said, this angle is replicated using nothing but these 1x2 by 2 plate high grill pieces. I really wish Lego make these without the vent holes in them, but unfortunately they don't. So as you can see, you have nothing but vents on top and on bottom. It's a pain, but it is there. So I do want to use these because they do replicate the angle almost perfectly for the stock, as you can see. And it's nice. We do have the rear sling mount here as well. These holes are unable to be covered up, unfortunately, because of how all these angles and measurements and things like that work out here. But, excuse me, from about here, you can't really notice them. You can see some black here and then the rendered images, but it's not that detracting, so I have left them here. There's really no way for me to cover that up without making it look terrible. On top, we do have some cheese slopes going on to make this cheek well that you're going to be holding up to your face more comfortable. And on back here, we just have some very basic plates going on as well. So that there is the Gewher 88 from Germany, World War I era, basically. We'll be seeing more of this model future or in a later video, but for now, this is the most basic version we have. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. If you guys want to see models before they come out on my channel, don't be afraid to check out my Discord channel. If you guys want a link to my Discord, don't be afraid to comment down below and just ask, and I'll respond back with a link so that you guys can join. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.